Now, Mrs. Rosen, try and think. Think.
I can't think.
Mrs. Boyle had just been killed when you got to her. You came from the kitchen. Are you sure you didn't see or hear anybody else? You can't adopt the whole way.
I don't know, but I think I heard the door creak and shut just as I came out of the kitchen.
Which door?
I don't know.
Try and think. Upstairs, downstairs, close at hand, right, left?
I don't know, I tell you. I'm not even sure I heard anything.
Can you stop bullying her? Can you see she's scared?
We are investigating a murder, Mr. Rosen. You help out on me. Well, Mrs. Boyle is dead. Unless we get to the bottom of things. And quickly. There may be another death.
Another? Nonsense. Why?
Because there were 3 blind mice. Now then, when I got out that window to trace the telephone wire, you, Mr. Rosen, where were you when Mrs. Rosen screamed?
I was still up in the bedroom. The extension telephone was dead too. When I heard Molly scream, I rushed down.
That took you a long time.
I don't think so.
Up here in the kitchen, see if there was anything I could tell Mrs. Rosen. After that, I went upstairs to my bedroom.
Why?
It's quite a natural thing to go to one's bed, wouldn't you think so? I mean, one doesn't want to be alone, sometimes.
You went to your bedroom because you wanted to be alone?
And I want to wash my hair and tidy up.
And you heard Mrs. Rosen scream?
Yes.
And you came down?
Yes.
Curious that you and Mr. Rosen didn't meet on the stairs.
I came down by the back stairs. They are near to my room.
I see. Mr. Parvati.
I've told you, I was playing the piano in the drawing room. Through that, Inspector.
I'm not an inspector, just a sergeant. Mr. Parvati, did anybody hear you playing the piano?
No, I do not expect so. I was playing very, very, very soft. With one finger. So.
You were playing 3 blind mice.
Is that so?
Yes, it is a very catchy little tune. It is, how shall I say, a haunting little tune. Don't you all agree?
I think it's horrible.
And yet it turns in people's head. Someone was whistling it too.
Whistling it? Where?
I'm not sure. Perhaps in the front hall, perhaps on the stairs, perhaps even upstairs in a bedroom.
Who was whistling 3 blind mice? Are you making this up, Mr. Parvati?
No, no, Inspector. I beg your pardon. Sergeant. I would not do so.
Well, go on. You were playing the piano.
With one finger. So. And then I hear the radio playing very loud. Someone is shouting out. It offended my ears. And after that, suddenly, ah! I hear Mrs. Rosen scream.
Now, Miss Caswell, I was writing letters in the library. And did you hear Mrs. Rosen scream?
No, I didn't hear anything until
Mrs. Rosen screamed. What did you do then?
I came here.
At once?
I think so.
You said you were writing letters when you heard Mrs. Rosen scream.
Yes.
And yet, there doesn't seem to be any unfinished letter in the library.
I brought it with me.
You know, Miss Caswell, if I were hearing someone screaming when I was writing a letter, I don't believe I would take time to pick up my unfinished letter, fold it, and put it in my pocket before going to see what was the matter.
You wouldn't? How interesting.
Now, Major McCann, what about you? You said you were in the cellar. Why?
Just looking around, I looked into the cupboard placed under the stairs near the kitchen. I noticed there was another door inside it. I opened it and saw the flight of stairs. I was curious and I went down. I said I forgot.
We are investigating a murder, Madam McCall. Mrs. Wilson just told us she heard the door shut with a faint creak. It could be known that after the murder of Mrs. Boyle, the killer heard Mrs. Wilson coming from the kitchen and slid into the cupboard and pulling the door after him.
A lot of things could be.
Well, we've got established opportunity as well as motive. Now, let me tell you this. You all had opportunity. There are 2 staircases. Anyone could go up by one and come down by the other. Anyone could go down the cellar by the step near the kitchen and come up by the front of steps that through a trapdoor to the foot of stairs over there. The vital fact was that every one of you was alone at the time the murder was committed.
But look here, Sergeant. You speak as though we were all under suspicion. That's absurd.
In a murder case, everyone is under suspicion.
But you know pretty well who killed that woman in Culver Street. You think it's the eldest of those 3 children at farm. A mentally abnormal young man who is now 23 years of age. Well, damn it all. There's just one person here who fits a bill.
It's not true. It's not true. You're all against me. Everyone's always being against me. You're going to frame me for murder. It's persecution. That's what it is. Persecution.
Steady.
It's all right, Christopher. Nobody's against you.
I think you're crazy. Molly. And you too. There's just one person here who fits a bill. And if as a safety measure, he ought to be put under arrest. It's only fair to the rest of us.
Wait, Giles, wait. Sergeant Porter, can I speak to you a minute?
Certainly. Everyone, please.
Giles?
I'm staying.
You too, Giles. Please go.
I'm going by probability. It all points one way. Mental instability, childish mentality, and deserted from the army, and a psychiatrist's report.
I know, and therefore it all seems to point to Christopher, but I don't believe it is Christopher. There must be a possibility.
Such as?
Well, hadn't those children said any relationship at all?
The mother was a drunk. She died soon after the children were taken away from her.
What about their father?
He's an army sergeant serving abroad. If he's alive, he's probably discharged from the army by now.
If he came home after being a prisoner, if he came home and found his wife dead and his children has gone through some terrible experience and one of them had died for it, he might go and had a bit of want revenge.
Well, Mrs. Roston, that's quite possible.
And so the murder may be middle-aged or even old. Well, when I say the police had run up, Major Metcalf is frightfully upset. He really was. I saw his face.
Major Metcalf?
Yes. Middle-aged, a soldier. He seems quite nice and perfectly normal, but it might not show, might it? So, it's not only Christopher who suspects. There's Major Metcalf as well. Well, Mr. Paravicini did drop the poker when I said the police had run off.
Mr. Paravicini?
Yes. I know he seems quite old and foreign and everything, but he might not be really as old as he looks. He moves like a younger man, and he definitely got makeup on his face. Miss Caswell noticed it too. He might be Oh, I know it sounds melodramatic, but he might be disguised.
Now, Mrs. Roston, let me tell you something. I've got all possibilities in mind ever since the beginning. The boy, George, the father, and someone else. There's a sister, you remember?
The sister?
The muffler pulled up, and the man fell through a window, and the killer whispered, "It's the voice give the sex away." Yes, it might have been a woman.
Miss Caswell?
She looks a bit all fallen apart. Yes, there's a very wide field. This yourself, for instance.
Me?
You're about the right edge.
But I don't.
No. Whatever you tell me about yourself, I've got no way of checking it at this moment. And then there's your husband.
Giles? How ridiculous!
You've been married. How long?
Just a year.
Did you meet his people?
He hasn't any people, they're all dead.
They're all dead? You'd be surprised, Mrs. Roston. Many cases like yours we get. Girls just marry her man, and she didn't find out a year or two he's a wanted criminal, or army desert, or something equally desirable. Just how long have you known George Roston when you married him?
Just 3 weeks, but...
And you know anything about him?
That's not true. I know everything about him. I know exactly the person he is. He's Giles
And what?
It is absolutely absurd to suggest that he is what? Homicidal maniac. Why? He wasn't even in London yesterday when the murder took place.
Where was he? Here?
He went a country to a cell to get some wild meat for our chickens.
Only 13 miles from London, aren't you?
I tell you, Giles wasn't in London.
Just a minute. Is this your husband's coat?
Yes.
Evening news. Saw on the street about 3:30 yesterday afternoon.
I don't believe it.
Don't you? Don't you?
Why?
Oh, you startled me.
Where's he? The sergeant.
He went out that way.
If I could get away from here, somehow. Is there anywhere I can hide?
Hide?
Yes, from him.
But why?
But darling, they are surprised, they will guess me. They are going to say I committed these murders, particularly your husband.
Never mind him. Listen, Christopher. You can't run away from things all your life. And your real name isn't Christopher, right? Isn't it?
No.
But why you...
Call myself Christopher Wren? It just amused me.
And what's your real name?
We didn't go into that. I ran away while I was doing my army service. Yes, I'm just like the unknown murderer. I must get away from here. I might pinch the sergeant's skis. I can skip quite well.
No, that was rather stupid. That was just like admitting yourself as guilty.
The sergeant told us things. I'm guilty.
He didn't. At least, I don't know what he thought. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
Who?
The sergeant told her. Keep putting into her head. Things aren't true. Things can't possibly be true. I can't believe it. I won't believe it.
What won't you believe? Come on. I'm with you.
You see that?
Yes?
What is it? An evening paper, a London paper. And it was in Giles' pocket. But Giles didn't go to London yesterday. Then why he shouldn't tell me? Why pretend just driving all around the countryside?
Lord, Molly. Surely you don't think the sergeant doesn't see.
I don't know what Sergeant thought. He made you think things about people. And you ask yourself questions and you begin to doubt. And you found the person you love and no longer just a stranger. And perhaps you can't trust anybody. Perhaps anybody's a stranger.
I seem to be interrupting something, huh?
Oh, we're just talking. And I must go to the kitchen. And the vegetables and potatoes and the spinach.
I'll come and give you a hand. No, you won't.
Giles!
You keep out of the kitchen and keep away from my wife. But really, look here. You keep away from my wife. She's not going to be a next victim. So that's what you think about me? I have said so, haven't I? There's a killer loose in this house, and it seems to me you fit the bill. I'm not the only one to fit the bill! I don't see who else does. How blind you are! Or you just pretend to be blind? I tell you, I'm worried about my wife's safety. So am I. I won't leave her alone with you. What are you doing now, huh?
Please go, Christopher.
I'm not going.
Please, I mean it. Go.
I won't be far away. Molly, what's all this? You must be crazy. Perfectly prepared to shut yourself up in the kitchen with a homicidal maniac.
He isn't. He's just unhappy. I tell you, Giles, he wasn't dangerous. And anyway, I can look after myself.
Look here. What is that between you and that wretched boy?
I feel sorry for him, that's all.
Perhaps you've met him before. Perhaps you suggested to him to come here, and that you both pretend to meet for the first time.
Giles, have you gone out of your mind? How dare you suggest these things?
Where did you first know him? How long has this been going on?
You're being stupid, Giles. I never saw Christopher until he arrived yesterday.
That's what you say. Perhaps you've been rounding up to London to meet him on the sly.
You know perfect well that I haven't been out to London for weeks.
Then, what's this? Huh? This is one of the gloves you were wearing yesterday. You drop it. I picked it up this afternoon. You see, what's inside it? A London bus ticket.
Oh, but...
So, it seems that you didn't only go to the village yesterday. You went to London as well. Huh? Come on now. Admit it. You went to London.
All right, then I went to London. So did you.
What?
So did you. You brought back an evening paper.
Where did you get hold of that?
It was in your overcoat pocket.
Anyone could have put it in there.
Didn't they? Now you're in London.
All right. Yes, I was in London. But I didn't go to meet the woman there.
Didn't you? Are you sure you didn't?
What did you mean?
Don't come near me.
What's the matter?
Don't touch me.
Did you go to London yesterday to meet Christopher Wren?
Don't be a fool, of course didn't.
Then why did you go?
I won't tell you.
Molly, what's come over you? You're different all of a sudden. I feel as though I don't know you anymore.
Perhaps you never did know me. We've been married how long? A year? You didn't know anything about me. What I thought, or done, or suffered before you knew me.
Molly, you're crazy.
All right, then I'm crazy. Why not? Perhaps it is fun to be crazy.
Who the hell are you?
Now, I do hope you young people are not supposed to say a little more than you mean. One does so in these lovers' quarrels.
Lovers' quarrels. That's good.
Quite so. I know just how you feel. I've been through all this myself when I was younger. Not very young, I imagine.
It is no business of yours, Mr. Parrish.
No business at all. But I came in to say that the sergeant cannot find his keys, and I'm afraid he's very annoyed just right now.
Christopher!
Mr. Ross, have you removed my skis back there where we put them?
Certainly not.
Someone's taken them.
What did you mean when you say
Christopher!
just now?
Nothing!
So our young architect has hooked it, has he? Very interesting.
Is this true, Mrs. Ross?
Oh, good Lord, you haven't gone after all.
Do you take my skis, Mr. Wren? Your skis, Sergeant?
No, what should I?
Mrs. Rosen seems to
Mr. Warren is fond of skiing. I thought you would take them just to get a little exercise.
Exercise?
Now, listen, you all people. This is a very serious matter. I want everybody here at once.
Oh, I think Miss Caswell has gone upstairs.
I'll get her.
Oh, and then that Major Medical in the dining room. Major Medical is not there right now.
I'll try and find him.
Did either of you two remove my skis from the cupboard back there?
Good Lord, no, why should I?
And I didn't touch them.
Nevertheless, they are gone. Which way did you go to your room?
I went backstage.
Then you passed the cupboard door.
If you say so, I have no idea where your skis are.
You were actually in that cupboard today.
Yes, I was.
At the time that Mrs. Boyle was killed.
At the time Mrs. Boyle was killed, I had gone out to the cellar.
Were the skis in that cupboard when you passed through?
I haven't the least idea.
Didn't you see them there?
Can't remember.
You must remember if those skis were there then.
Hey, no good shouting at me, young fellow. I wasn't thinking about any damn skis. I was interested in the cellar. I opened the door and I went out down, so I can't tell you whether your skis were there or not.
You realize that you, yourself, had an excellent opportunity of taking them.
Yes, I grant you that. If I wanted to, that's it.
The question is, where are they now? Well, 3 blind mice, 2 mice cancelled out, a third mouse still to be dealt with. Now, one of you is the killer. I don't know which yet, but I'm sure. And another of you is killer's prospective victim. Anyone has anything, however slight, had better to come on with it. Alright, you won't. I will get the killer. Alright, you can go.
I will come with you to the kitchen and we will see what we can concoct together. A charming occupation.
I'm helping my wife.
Oh, your husband is afraid of you. Quite natural under the circumstances. He doesn't fancy you being alone. You see, it's my sadistic tendencies he fears, not my dishonorable ones. Ah, what an inconvenience the husband always is.
I don't think Giles doesn't think...
He's very wise. Take no chances. Can I prove to you, or to him, or to our Dr. Sergeant, that I'm not a homicidal maniac? So difficult to prove a negative. And suppose that instead I'm really...
Oh, don't!
But such a gay little tune, don't you think? She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Snick, snick, snick. Ooh, delicious. Just what a child would enjoy. Ah, cruel little things. Children. Some of them never grow up.
Stop frightening my wife at once.
You see, it's silly of me. I found her, and her face is all purple. I just can't forget it.
I know, it's hard to forget things, isn't it? You aren't really the forgetting kind.
I must go to the kitchen. The dinner, the food, and the spinach, the potato all into pieces. Please, Giles.
What did you say to the lady to upset her, sir?
Me, Sergeant? Oh, just a little innocent fun.
I've been thinking, that car of yours, and how it happened to overturn a snowdrift so conveniently.
Inconveniently, you mean, don't you, Sergeant?
That rather depends on the way you are looking at it. Just where you bound for, by the way, when you had this accident?
Oh, I was on my way to see a friend.
In this neighborhood?
Not so very far from here.
And what was the name and the address of this friend?
No, really, Sergeant Trotter. Does that matter now?
The police always lie foolish information. But what did you say this friend name was?
Well, I didn't say.
No, you didn't say. And it says you are not going to say. Now, that's very interesting.
But there might be so many reasons, and a move discretion is jealous husbands.
Rather ought to be running around with the ladies at your age, aren't you?
My dear Sergeant, I'm not perhaps quite as old as I look.
That's what I've been thinking, sir.
What?
You are not as old as you try to look. Many people try to look younger than they are. If one tries to look older, it doesn't make one ask oneself why.
Well, go on, try again. Don't you have any more questions to ask?
One or two. Where will you come from last night?
That is simple, from London.
What address in London?
I always stay at Reese Hotel.
Very nice too, I'm sure. What is your permanent address?
I dislike permanency.
What's your business or profession?
I play the markets.
Stockbroker?
No, you misunderstand.
Enjoy this little game, aren't you? Murder isn't just a game.
Not even this murder. Dear me, you are very serious, Sergeant Trotter. I always have thought policemen have no sense of humor. Is the Inquisition over for the moment?
For the moment, yes.
Thank you so much. I shall go and look for your skis in the drawing room, just in case someone has hidden them in the grand piano.
Just a minute.
Well, what do you want to know?
Full name, please.
Lacey McRae, Catherine Casewell.
Catherine. How long have you been in England?
A week.
How long did you or do you propose to remain here?
Until I have finished what I came here to do.
And what was that? I said, what was it you came here to do? You haven't answered my question.
I really don't see you now. But I should. It's a matter that concerns me alone. A strictly private affair.
All the same, Miss Caswell,
No, I don't think we'll argue about it.
would you mind telling me your age?
Not in the list. It's on my passport. I'm 24.
24?
You were thinking I looked older. That's quite true. I have lived most of my life abroad.
Were you born abroad?
No, I left England when I was 13.
You know, Miss Caswell, I can't quite make you out.
Does it matter?
I don't know. What are you doing here?
It seems to worry you.
It does worry me. You left England when you were 13?
12, 13, thereabouts.
What's your name, Caswell, then?
It's my name now.
What was your name then? Come on, tell me!
What are you trying to prove?
I want to know what your name was when you left England.
It's a long time ago. I've forgotten.
There are things one doesn't forget.
Possibly.
Happenings. Despair.
I dare say.
What's your real name?
I told you. Lacey Margaret. Catherine Caswell.
Catherine? What the hell are you doing here?
Oh God. I wish to God I never come here.
I can't believe it.
What won't you believe?
I've seen something I ought to see before. But I think now we may be able to get somewhere.
The police have a clue.
Yes, Mr. Wren. I won't assemble everybody here again. Do you know where they are?
Molly and Giles are in the kitchen. I've been helping Major Malcolm to look for your skis. But, oh no, I don't know where Prohibition is.
Well, you get the other. I will get him. Mr. Paravicini! Mr. Paravicini! Paravicini!
Yes, Sergeant. What can I do for you?
What's all this?
Sit down, Major. Mrs. Roston.
Have your skis been found, Sergeant?
No, but I have a very strong suspicion of who took them and why they were taken. I won't say any more at this moment.
No, please don't. I always think explanations should be kept to the very end. That exciting lecture. You know.
What is happening?
Sit down, Miss Caswell. Mrs. Roston. Will you all pay attention, please? You may remember that after the murder of Mrs. Boyle, I got statements from you all. 5 of you were speaking the truth, but 1 of you is lying. I had a plan that may help me to discover the liar. If I found 1 of you lied to me, then I know who the murderer is. I want you all to do exactly what you did before the murder.
I don't see where you can possibly hope to find out by just make people do the things they did before. I think it's nonsense.
Do you, Mr. Wren?
Well, you can count me out. I'm too busy in the kitchen.
I can't count anybody out. If I believe that you are all guilty by the looks of you, why are you all so unwilling?
Well, cooperate. Right? Molly.
Very well.
Wren. Miss Caswell.
Yes.
Paravicini.
Oh yes, I can see.
And Nectar. Yes. Are we all to do exactly what we did before?
The same action will be performed. Yes.
Then I will return to the piano in the drawing room. Once again, I will pick out with 1 finger the signature tune of the murderer.
Not quite so fast, Mr. Paravicini. Do you play the piano?
Yes, I do.
And you know the tune of 3 blind mice?
Do we all know it?
Then you could pick it up with 1 finger, just as Mr. Paravicini did. Good. Please go into the drawing room, sit at the piano, and be ready to play when I give you the signal. Thank you.
But, Sergeant, I understood that we were each to repeat our former roles.
The same action will be performed. but it's not necessary by the same people. Will you all pay attention, please? I will assign each of you your new stations. Mr. Ray, could you go to the kitchen? Just keep an eye on Mrs. Rose's dinner pocket. You are very fond of cooking, I believe. Mr. Paravichini, could you go up Mr. Ray's room? And by the back stair is the most convenient way. Major McCann, could you go up Mr. Rose's room and examine the telephone there? Miss Caswell, would you mind going down the cellar? Mr. Ray will show you the way. Unfortunately, I need someone to reproduce my own action. I'm sorry to ask it of you, but Mr. Roston, could you go out that window and follow the telephone wire run through the front door? It's really a chilly job, but I think you are probably the toughest person here.
And what are you going to do?
I'm enacting the part of Mrs. Boyle.
Taking a bit of risk on you?
You will stay your places until you hear me call you. Everyone, please.
Apologies.
Mrs. Roston, count 20 and then begin to play. Mrs. Roston! Mrs. Roston!
Yes, what is it? You look pleased with yourself. Have you got what you wanted?
Yes, I've got exactly what I wanted.
You know who the murderer is?
Yes, I do.
Which of them?
You ought to know, Mrs. Roston.
I?
Don't think it's ordinary foolish, you know. As you run a good chance of being killed by holding on me. As the result, you've been more dangerous than once.
I don't know what you mean.
The police aren't as dumb as you think. All along, I realized that you had first-hand knowledge of Longridge Farm affair. You knew Mrs. Boyle was majesty concerned. In fact, you knew all about it. Why didn't you speak out and say so?
I don't know. I just wanted to forget.
Your maiden name was Warren?
Yes.
Miss Warren, you told the school where children went.
Yes.
It is true, isn't it? That Jimmy, the children who died, managed to get a letter posted to you. The letter begged for help. Help from his kind young teacher. And you never answered that letter.
I couldn't. I never got it.
You just did your brother.
That's not true. I was being ill. I went down with pneumonia that very day, and the letter was put aside with the others. It was weeks afterward that I found it with a lot of others. And by then the poor child was dead, waiting for me to do something. Hoping, gradually losing. Oh, it's haunting me ever since. If only I hadn't been ill. If only I didn't know. Oh, it's a monstrous that such a thing should happen.
Yes, it's monstrous.
I thought the policemen didn't carry the revolvers.
The police don't. But I'm not a policeman. You thought I was a policeman because I ran out from the cobalt and said I was speaking from the police headquarters, and that sergeant was on his way. I cut the telephone wire before I came to the front door. You know me, Mrs. Rose. I'm George. I'm Jimmy's brother, George. You better not squeal. If you do, I shall look fire this revolver. I would like to talk to you a little. I said, I would like to talk to you a little. Jimmy died. That little woman killed him. They put her in prison. but prison wasn't bad enough for her. I will kill her one day. And I did too. In the phone, that was grandfather. I hope Jimmy knows. I will kill them all when I've grown up. That's what I say to myself. Because grown up can do anything they like. I'm going to kill you in a minute.
The revolvers will make a lot of noise.
It will red. Much better than bullet usually. I will take her by the neck. The last little mouse in the chair. Georgie! Georgie! You know me, don't you? Don't you remember the farm, Georgie? The animals. That fatal pig. And the day the bull chased us across the field. And the dogs. Dogs? Yes. Spot and Clan. Kathy? Yes. You remember me now, don't you? Kathy, it is you. What are you doing here? I came to England to find you. I didn't recognize you until you trailed your hair the way you always used to do. Yes, you always did it. George, come with me. You are coming with me. Where are we going? It's all right. I'm taking you somewhere where they will look after you and see that you won't do any more harm. Roston? Roston? Oh, Molly! Molly, I'm all right.
Darling,
Whoever would have dreamed it was torture.
I was mixed up in all. He was quite mad.
Yes, but you?
I was mixed up. I told in school. Thought I could say that child.
You should have told me.
I just wanted to forget.
Everything is under control. He will be unconscious soon with a sedative. His sister's looking after him. Poor fellow's manners ahead. Of course, I have had my suspicion of him all along.
Didn't you? So you didn't believe that he was a policeman?
I knew he wasn't a policeman, Mrs. Roston. You see? I am a policeman.
You?
As soon as we got hold of that notebook with Moswell manner writing in it, we saw it was vital to have someone on the spot. When it was put to him, Major Metcalf agreed to let me take his place. I could not stand it when Trotter turned up.
And Miss Caswell is his sister?
Yes, it seemed she recognized him just before the last business. Didn't know what to do, but fortunately came to me about it, just in time. Well, it's nice though. Help should be here pretty soon. Oh, by the way, Mrs. Roston, I will remove those skis. I hid them on the top of the four-poster bed.
And I thought it was Mr. Paravicini.
I gather now examining the car is very carefully. Molly, I believe you thought I was...
Giles, what did you do in London yesterday?
Oh, darling, I was buying you an anniversary present. We've been married just a year today.
And that's what I went to London for, but I don't want you to know. I hope they're all right.
Oh, darling,
They're seagulls.
how sweet. They're splendid.
Oh, wait. What's my present?
Oh yes, I forgot all about your present.
alright, isn't it? Oh, Giles.
Terrible smell burning coming from the kitchen.
Oh, my pie!